The rain didn't start as a drizzle. It came down in heavy, cold sheets, the kind that blur the world into gray streaks and drown out everything except your own thoughts. Mira didn't care. She sat on the metal bench at the bus stop, her hood pulled low, her backpack soaked through, her forehead pressed into her palms. Her cheeks were hot beneath her hands, even though the air was freezing. She kept replaying the moment over and over, her laptop screen glitching, her voice cracking, the class snickering like she was the punchline to a joke she didn't even understand. She had practiced that presentation for a week. She thought, for once, she might finally do well. But the harder she tried to calm down on that stage, the worse it got. Her throat tightened, her eyes burned, her words trembled, and when someone giggled, she felt everything collapse inside her. The teacher tried to stop the laughter, but it didn't matter. The damage was done. Mira ran out the moment class ended. She thought the rain might hide her tears. She hoped it would, at least. But even now, long after the crying had stopped, she kept her face covered. The embarrassment stayed like a bruise under her ribs, pulsing, refusing to disappear. Footsteps approached. She didn't look up. She just wished the world would swallow her whole, quietly, without a scene. "Mira," a familiar voice said over the rain. "Is that you?" Her whole body went still. She knew that voice. Everyone at school did. Mr. Hale. He wasn't a teacher, he was the guardian of Noah, a younger student who adored him. Sometimes he helped during school events or waited near the gate, always calm, always collected, always the kind of adult who didn't talk down to kids. He didn't belong to the noisy chaos of the school hallways. He seemed steadier. Safer. And the last thing she wanted was for someone like him to see her like this. She stayed silent, hands glued to her face. He stepped closer but didn't lean in or crouch down. He simply stood there a respectful distance away. "It's raining pretty hard," he said gently. "Mind if I sit?" She didn't answer. He sat anyway, but at the far end of the bench, giving her space, like he could sense how fragile her emotions were. A moment passed before he spoke again. "Looks like today wasn't easy." His voice wasn't prying. It wasn't demanding. It was steady. Mira swallowed but didn't move her hands. "I'm fine." "You don't have to be," he said. "Not all the time." She felt her throat tighten again. Why was he being kind? Why couldn't he just walk away? The rain hammered the roof of the bus shelter. Cars hissed past, sending waves of water across the road. Somewhere far away, thunder rolled faintly. Mr. Hale didn't say anything more. He didn't even look at her. He just waited, like he knew that silence was safer for her than questions. Eventually she muttered, "You don't need to stay." "Maybe not," he replied calmly. "But no one should be alone in the rain like this." Her breath caught, not because of the words, but because of the softness behind them. She had heard adults speak kindly before, but not like this. Not in a way that made her feel seen instead of scolded. A sniff escaped her without warning. She pressed her hands harder against her face. "Mira," he said quietly, "you don't have to hide your face from me." She stiffened. He wasn't accusing her. He wasn't teasing her. He wasn't even trying to look. He just noticed. "I know what it feels like," he continued, "when something embarrassing happens and suddenly your whole body feels like it's on fire." Her fingers curled slightly, but she didn't respond. "You think everyone's still looking at you," he added. "Even hours later. Even when you're alone." Her heart shook. He understood. Slowly, hesitantly, she let her hands drop a little, revealing a sliver of her tear-stained cheek. He still wasn't staring at her. He was watching the street, elbows resting loosely on his knees, giving her the choice to show herself or not. The world outside blurred. Inside the bus shelter, time felt strangely still. "You know," he said, "the only people who never mess up are the ones who never try." "It wasn't just messing up," she whispered. Everyone laughed. "That doesn't make their reaction right," he replied. "And it doesn't mean you deserve to shrink because of it." Her throat closed around a new wave of emotion. She fought it back. She hated crying in front of people. Hated that her feelings never seemed to fit in the small space she had for them. She wiped her cheek with her sleeve. I should have been stronger. Strength isn't not crying, he said. Strength is standing up again after you do. She didn't know what to say to that. It felt too big. Too honest. Too opposite of everything she believed about herself. Before she could answer, a shout came from the parking lot. Elias. Noah, small, cheerful, and always slightly out of breath, ran toward them with his backpack bouncing wildly. Mr. Hale looked up. Careful. The ground's slippery. Noah skidded to a stop, then blinked at Mira. Why were you covering your face? Are you hurt? Mira forced a tight smile. Just tired. And cold. Noah nodded seriously, accepting that. Do you want a cookie? I saved one from lunch. Her eyes widened in surprise. It's okay. Keep it. He placed it gently on the bench beside her anyway. It's chocolate chip. That's the best one. Mr. Hale chuckled under his breath. He means well. Noah nodded proudly, then tugged on his guardian's jacket. Can we walk her home? It's really stormy, and she looks sad. Myra's breath hitched. She wasn't used to kindness being so straightforward. If it's okay with you, Mr. Hale said gently, turning to her. We can walk with you. No pressure. For a moment, embarrassment rose again, hot and sharp. But then she thought about walking alone through the rain with her thoughts clawing at her from the inside. And about how, for the first time since the presentation, she didn't feel like the world was collapsing. She nodded. They started walking, Mira on one side, Mr. Hale in the middle, Noah hopping between puddles on the other side. No one asked her to explain what happened. No one told her what she should have done differently. No one made her feel small. The rain soaked their clothes, but Mira didn't mind. With each step, the tension in her chest eased just a little, as if the storm outside was washing away the storm inside. By the time her apartment building came into view, she wasn't completely okay. But she wasn't breaking anymore either. She wasn't hiding. And for the first time all day, she didn't feel alone.